H.R. 1789, the Promptly Ending Political Prosecutions and Executive Retaliation Act of 2025, would place a check on radical left-wing prosecutors, or really any prosecutor's ability to bring politically motivated criminal cases before judges and juries that may be biased. The last few years have brought about outrageous and unprecedented moves from rogue prosecutors to target one of our nation's top leaders for their own political gain. For the first time in American history, a former president was indicted and faced with criminal charges. After President Trump announced his 2024 presidential campaign, he was indicted not just once, twice, or three times, but four. And two of these indictments have come from rogue district attorneys looking to build up their profile, as this committee has explored last Congress, and make a name for themselves on the national stage. In April of 2023, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg sentenced or announced a 34-count felony indictment against President Trump in the New York State Supreme Court. Instead of prosecuting real crime in New York, as we witnessed in this committee, that they continue to face, DA Alvin Bragg made President Trump the focal point of his campaign. And then again in August of 2023, Fulton County DA Fani Willis brought about a 41-count indictment against 19 defendants, including President Trump, in the Fulton County Superior Court. Willis even told the news outlets, quote, "We've been working for 2.5 years, we're ready to go," end quote. They could have brought charges years earlier, but decided to do it as soon as President Trump announced his re-election campaign. These politically motivated district attorneys did everything they could to keep Donald Trump out of the White House, and well, we all know that it backfired as the American people gave President Trump a resounding mandate to restore our country's greatness. The American people saw the political persecution led by the Biden-Harris Justice Department's two-tier justice system that extended to Democrat, local, and state offices. These were bogus indictments, and our rule of law must be protected. The president is the leader of the free world. The level here is not the same. A small-town prosecutor coming in and attacking our commander-in-chief is laughable. We don't do this in America. We never have. And we can't continue to allow America to turn into a country where candidates running for office are prosecuted out of purely political reasons. These prosecutors have weaponized our justice system against its political opponents, and it is Congress's duty to respond, which is why I have introduced this bill and a similar bill from last Congress, which would give both current and former presidents and vice presidents the ability, not a mandate, but the ability to remove their civil or criminal cases against them from a state court to a federal district court. The new bill also expands the eligibility to remove cases also to current and former U.S. officers who are acting within the scope of their official duties or apparent legal authority related to their office. The bill also codifies the immunity recognized by the U.S. Supreme Court for official acts carried out by federal officials. The federal interests implicated by civil actions or criminal prosecutions brought against current or former presidents and vice presidents are pretty overwhelming. A federal court is the appropriate forum to adjudicate cases with such a strong federal nexus. Federal judges, as an example, enjoy life tenure that is largely free from outside interference in their decisions. By contrast, state court judges are readily subjected to political influences, as many of them are often elected or directly appointed or serve shorter terms. In federal court, the jury pool is often drawn from a larger and more diverse district. The rules of jury selection are much more robust than in state court. This helps to ensure that the political biases of one locality do not improperly influence the jury and its decisions. So we must ensure that state courts are not weaponized against current or former presidents, vice presidents, or U.S. officers. This is common sense. We can and should act to provide this option of a fair playing field for legal proceedings for all presidents, vice presidents, U.S. officers, former and current. I urge support, and Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.